Press 1 presented by Booking.com. They are trying to will their home team to a victory at Comerica Park today. But it's the Seattle Mariners who are one step away from a spot in the postseason that they have not seen in 24 years. Their last LCS in 2001. A win today sends them there. The Tigers with their backs against the wall facing elimination. Adam, and AJ. Tom Verducci is with us today as well. Got a lot from AJ Pierzynski on Cal Raleigh, the excellent catcher, switch hitter with 60 home runs. But I want to hear what the pitcher perspective is on what you've seen from Cal Raleigh in this set.
Well, we know he's a great player. 60 home runs, 125 RBIs. I think the offense gets talked about more than defense, even though he was a Platinum Glove winner last year. He's probably going to be a Gold Glove winner again this year. But I watched him yesterday from a pitcher's standpoint. Logan Gilbert is not an easy task, throwing hard, bouncing sliders, bouncing that nasty split, going down, keeping it in front, and controlling his pitchers. Every now and then he would go out there and calm them down. But yesterday, fastball up and away. At Comerica Park, are you kidding me, to go left center, Oppo Taco? Crazy power. He's the complete player, and he's probably going to be this year's, well, arguably MVP this year. Cal Raleigh this series, 6 for 13, a homer and 3 RBIs. But look at the OPS, over 1,200. This guy is amazing.
He has had a fantastic series so far, and he's hoping to get the Mariners to the LCS. Meanwhile, the Detroit Tigers, here they are. This is it. They've won an elimination game on the road already in this postseason, Game 3 at Cleveland. Casey Mize is going to get the ball today, but the offense needs to step up. We just haven't seen it consistently yet.
You're right. They need to do what they did in Game 3 at Cleveland in the wild card series, and that's score some runs. They scored 6 in that game, 5 late, but they got the win. And today, they need to do the same thing. The offense, as I said earlier, has been downright offensive this series for the Tigers. 159 with runners in scoring position, 35 strikeouts in 3 games. That's not going to get it done. 84 at-bats, and they've hit 1 homer. They have to hit homers because they don't string a lot of hits together. Can they do that against Bryce Miller, a guy who in their history, they have 0 runs off of? So it is a tall task for these Tigers. They feel confident. They were excited. We'll see what happens. Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, it's your time to shine, boys.
This is the time for Detroit. They need to win to keep their season alive, while the Mariners are 1 win away from their first league championship series appearance since 2001. They won the division finally. Now they have a chance to do something they haven't done in a long time. Meanwhile, the Tigers, can they do it again? Can they stave off elimination and keep their season going? Game 4 is next. Game 1 in Seattle, it was down to the wire. Carpenter and McKinstry provided the offense in an 11-inning thriller. Jorge Polanco in Game 2 got the best of Tarek Skubal twice, and Julio Rodriguez delivered the game-winning blow late. And then in Game 3 last night, Logan Gilbert outstanding. The Mariners offense, their best performance of the series, and a 2-1 Seattle lead in this American League Division Series on a beautiful afternoon in Detroit, Michigan. 61 degrees, barely a cloud in the sky, and we are set to go for playoff baseball as we take a look at today's same game parlay. It's available now on FanDuel. It is a fascinating pitching matchup as well, with a couple of youngsters taking the ball, including a former #1 pick for the Detroit Tigers. For more, here's Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Adam. It was 1 year, 3 days ago that Tigers manager A.J. Hinch told Casey Mize he was not on the postseason roster. Today, he asks him to save their season. Mize used that slight to reinvent himself. A higher arm angle, scrapped his curveball, went to a second slider, made the All-Star team, and last week his first postseason start, and Hinch pulled him from that game in the 3rd inning. Today, Mize hopes to join Steven Strasburg as the only #1 overall picks to win a postseason elimination game. Compared to last week, and the stakes this high, the leash could be even shorter. Adam.
What a moment for this young man out of the state of Alabama. He gets the opportunity today in his 2nd career playoff start.
Yeah, he's got great stuff. See, 28 starts this year, 3.87 ERA, 149 innings. He's not a strikeout pitcher per se, but he does have the stuff to run it up there. He'll touch 98 today. He's got a really good splitter that he works off of that, and a couple of good curveballs, slider, slurve. It's not really a slurve. It goes straight up and down. I have no idea why they call it a slurve, but it's pretty good. He knows how to use all these pitches too. He's a complete pitcher.
This is the lineup that he will face. Both lineups exactly the same as what we saw in Game 3. The Mariners got some help for their big guns in the middle. Raleigh obviously had a great game, but they got some help from the supporting cast, which was 3 for 44 outside of Raleigh, Rodriguez, and Polanco in the first 2 games. That group combined for 6 hits and 2 home runs. J.P. Crawford and Eugenio Suarez each with blasts here in Detroit last night. No delay today, nearly a 3-hour delay before Game 3. Today, we could not ask for a better afternoon of weather for Game 4. Randy Arozarena leads things off against Casey Mize, and away we go. Strike 1. Three hits in the series for Arozarena. On one bounce, nice snare by McKinstry at third, and he throws out Arozarena for the first down. Same Tigers defense as we saw yesterday, but A.J. Hinch made sure to point out they have to be fundamentally better. That play that Zach McKinstry let through, went to home plate. Dingler didn't play it cleanly, allowed a run to score. They have to be sharper today, A.J. Hinch said.
They do, and that was one play. It did cost him a run, but more importantly, it took a guy from first to second, took away the double play. It was just an unfundamental play. That is something the Tigers have actually done really well this year. They don't have a lot of range in defense, but when they get to it, they usually catch it and make the play.
Made 2 errors yesterday. Carpenter had that fly ball that he missed as well. Here is Raleigh. He takes upstairs to even the count at a ball and a strike. Had that blast to left field where Jamison Turner, the fan who had that dump here 61 shirt on, he was there to catch it on a bounce. Raleigh was able to meet with Jamison Turner after the game. There he is in that same spot. He's got the glove ready to go and the 62 shirt on. But pretty cool that he got an opportunity to meet with Cal yesterday after the game. He signed a bat for him, got the ball as well. And the iconic tweet from the Mariners social media staff. Dump here. What a cool moment. And a moment that really, more often than not, you only get in baseball. That was awesome. 1-2 pitch to Raleigh is outside to even the count at 2-2.
Something to look for here, Wayno, for me, for Mize. He didn't get a lot of swing and miss. And the Mariners will swing and miss. But with 2 strikes, he doesn't do a great job of putting hitters away. Can he get these Mariner hitters out once he gets ahead of them? And can he get some whiffs?
Yeah, I like what he did with the first pitch. Started him off with a split. Cal came out ready to rock. The big swing on the first pitch, but he was looking for the dog and got the cat. Sometimes when you're not a swing and miss pitcher, you got to pitch a little backwards. We may see that today.
Home of the 2-2 delivery. Tried to paint the corner, and it's 3-2. Rodriguez waits on deck, having a strong series as well. Went 0 for 5 last night. Here's the payoff. Breaking ball is lifted down the right field line. Carpenter giving it chase, and Torkelson as well, and that will fall between them foul, and Raleigh gets new life. Chris Guccione is behind home plate today for our 6-man umpiring crew. He's worked 2 World Series in his career. Same with the crew chief Alan Porter, who's over at first now. Nate Tomlinson, his playoff debut in this series. Tosi, his first division series. Rehack, the veteran, his 5th playoff series. Tom Payne, the most veteran, with his 8th career playoff series. Speaking of 8, 8th pitch to Raleigh. Is waved on and missed with that splitter. 2 up and 2 down for Casey Mize.
This is what I feel like he has to do. Like you said, pitching backwards. There's the fork ball. Cal Raleigh 3-2. That's a really good one. It starts as a strike and just dives at the end. But that's what Casey Mize is going to have to do, because he's really a 2-pitch guy. Yes, he throws some sliders to righties, but he is fastball split. He has to command it, and he has to get swing and miss.
Rodriguez fouls back a slider. 4 hits, including a home run, 3 driven in the first 2 games in Seattle. And 0 for 5 last night, but a lot of support from the rest of the crew for Seattle yesterday. 1-1. Check swing foul, and it's 1-2 on Julio Rodriguez. A chance for Casey Mize to get through this tough top of the order unscathed.
I suspect that's how we'll see them pitch Julio today. Off in for show to get him feeling him inside, and then that slider split away.
1-2. Mize, 28 years old, from Springville, Alabama, the #1 pick in 2018. Made his major league debut a couple of years after that. 30 starts in 2021, but then Tommy John surgery early in 2022. Missed the rest of that year and all of 2023. 20 starts last year. A strong year this year as an all-star. And he gets Rodriguez on the splitter to just foul tip it. Man, that was close. And Rodriguez, that is a tough pitch and a good job to stay alive. He's fouled away 4 pitches in this at bat.
It's perfectly executed too. But that was what they did so well yesterday. On all those great pitches early on, they fouled them off. They got another pitch.
A.J. Hinch said he was ready to tear his hair out with some of the at-bats that Jack Flaherty had to deal with, including that Josh Naylor at-bat that went 11 pitches, all those foul balls.
Once again today, 7 foul balls to the last 2 hitters.
Rodriguez lifts one out towards left center field. Angling over is Riley Green. He's got it to finish off a 1-2-3 Casey Mize frame. And the Detroit Tiger offense trying to find some traction comes up next. Tigers coming to bat in the bottom of the first against Bryce Miller. It is the exact same lineup we saw in Game 3. A lot of strikeouts, better than 11 per game in the postseason. About 1 out of every 3 plate appearances has led to a strikeout for Detroit. They have to clean that up today.
They do, and this is against a guy, Bryce Miller, they have had 0 success against. 19 innings, 0 runs. His stats this year, his numbers are not good. And A.J. Hinch and these Tigers, they think he's vulnerable because his velo's a little bit down, his movement pattern's down. But again, forcing fastball split, they got to get on his fastball. And they got to do something they haven't done in the history of the Tigers, and that's score some runs against Bryce Miller.
19 innings pitched in 3 starts against Detroit. No runs allowed. But again, those were the last 2 years, not this season. This year it's been a little bit of a rougher go with a couple of injury stints. There's a loose ball out onto the field, so Rodriguez heads out back to center. Those are his numbers against Detroit in his very young career. '27-year-old from Texas deals to Kerry Carpenter.
It's interesting because this has not been the best season for Bryce. Last year he was unbelievable. This year's not been the best season for him, but he's had great success against the Tigers. And sometimes you just have a team's number, so we're going to see which one plays out more.
Breaking ball waved on and missed. There's that splitter.
For me, the Tigers got to score early in this game. It's an elimination game. You're at home. The crowd's behind you. You got to score early off a guy that you don't think is going to be out there very long. Because if you're Dan Wilson and the Mariners, first sign of trouble, you got a fully loaded bullpen. You're running to it.
Carpenter fouls one away, and it's 1-2.
And I will say this, the first 2 fastballs Bryce Miller has thrown are 2 mph over his season average. He's averaging 95. Those first 2 are 97. So he's feeling good.
That's the pitch he uses more than any other.
I asked several pitchers for the Mariners what they thought about Bryce Miller, and everyone said this guy's fastball is electric. That's okay. Tell me more about that. And they said it just, watching him, playing catch with him, watching his bullpens, they said the ball just explodes out of his hand. So I think this guy has a great future. This year might have been an outlier.
Carpenter rips one foul. Still 2-2. Miller this season with the bone spur issues in his right elbow, so he ended up going to the injured list in mid-May, came back for a couple of starts, but then went right back to the IL in early June, and then came back in mid-August. Had 8 starts from mid-August to the end of the season with a 5.6 ERA. Carpenter skies one on the infield. Suarez, the third baseman, wants it and has it. So with Gleyber Torres coming up, we take a look at Fox Foresight powered by Google Cloud. Torres with 6 hits in the postseason. A couple of hits, including a double in Game 3 yesterday. The most experienced Tiger in terms of postseason play. Part of the Yankees over the last 7 years. Played in the World Series last year. His 51st career postseason game, and he fouls one away. Torres 2 for 8 in his career against Bryce Miller.
One thing I want us to keep in mind today, just pay attention to his foot on the rubber. Last year, Bryce Miller was 7 inches closer to the third base side. He's moved over to the first base side. Success has not followed him over there. Usually the angle is so important to pitchers. That can be from the first base side or the third base side. His angle apparently that works for him is more towards the third base side. Better. I mean, the stats don't lie, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. If his whole foot's on the rubber, he's in the right spot.
And you wonder if that has had some kind of effect on that fastball, the run value for Bryce Miller.
Yeah, so basically, like, well, just look at, first of all, the ERA and the whip speak for themselves,
sure,
right? But run value is something that you can judge each pitch individually.
Uses that fastball to get the strikeout. So look good that time as he gets Torres to reach up and elevate.
And that was what was so electric about his fastball last year. He got so many swings and misses on it. It was one of the top-rated fastballs in the entire game. Last year, fastball run value of +19. That talks about how good that pitch is compared to the rest of the league on that pitch. What if its effectiveness is to the hitter. This year, -11. It's a 30-run value difference. It's tremendous.
Colt Keith takes a fastball strike, little two-seamer. Keith 1 for 6 in the series since coming back from that intercostal strain, the rib inflammation. Taps one up the first base line. Miller is over. Miller with a flip, and Miller with a 1-2-3 inning to match Casey Mize. We're on to the second in Game 4. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play this great game and to learn more, including how to find a league near you. Playball.org, and follow Play Ball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Nobody in this Mariners lineup has seen more of Casey Mize than Jorge Polanco. 6 for 16 with a couple of homers. Takes a strike.
He's done damage against Casey Mize and also Tarek Skubal in Game 2. But yeah, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 16 at bats. This is the guy Casey Mize might have circled in his pregame meeting.
Drops in a slider for a called strike. Game 4 from Detroit. Mariners win, they go to the LCS. Detroit wins, we go to Seattle for Game 5. A splitter from Mize for his second strikeout, both on that pitch. He's got Raleigh and now Polanco.
Well, this is the pitch, Wayno, you talked about. He's got to be able to control this split finger. He's got to be able to get whiffs. So far through the first 2 innings, yes, there's been some foul balls, but he's also put away a couple guys with this pitch.
Speaking of Skubal, he appreciated it. 1 away for Josh Naylor. He takes a slider strike, still seeking his first hit of this series. He's 0 for 13 with a walk, but did make the excellent defensive play to close out the game with a double play last night.
Some things I really like so far out of Mize. 5 for 5 first pitch strikes. That speaks for itself. But he's working in and out. His breaking ball's in the zone, sliders in the zone, slurves in the zone. That split's nasty.
Naylor flips one down the right field line. That is a fair ball for his first hit of the playoffs. On his way to second, and he will cruise in with a 1-out double. First hit and base runner for Seattle is Josh Naylor in scoring position.
just a good swing by Naylor. I'm pretty much sure that was a split. Didn't get down, stayed middle. Naylor clips it out front, doubles down the right field line. Just like that, the Mariners are in business.
That's so important to Naylor. You have to keep the ball down. He's so good thigh high and up.
So now here is Suarez. Nice splitter for a strike in the outer edge. Suarez didn't have a hit until that big fly to left field in his old stomping grounds. Started his career with Detroit more than a decade ago. Ball and a strike on Suarez.
We showed the offensive numbers for the Detroit Tigers earlier in the open. But Wayno, I want to know, what kind of pressure does that put on your starting pitcher, knowing, man, these guys, we haven't scored as a team. I got to be perfect the whole time.
Yeah, if you worry about that as a pitcher, you can get yourself going down rabbit holes you don't need to go down to. These pitchers need to just focus on making pitches, executing one at a time. But deep in the back of your mind, you do know that you've got to be really good. Even though you try not to focus on that, it's in there and you can't get it out.
A.J. Hinch turning to Casey Mize for this game. Could have been Mize in 3 and Flaherty in 4. We flipped it for this series. If A.J. Hinch's club wins this game, not only do they keep their season going, it would be A.J. Hinch's 1,000th victory as a major league manager between the regular season and postseason. Now in his 5th season with Detroit. Suarez goes down on the splitter. 3 strikeouts, all on that excellent split.
Another nasty forkball splitter, whatever you want to call it, but it's just the lack of velocity, and that is one of the hardest pitches, not only for Gino Suarez, but also just anybody, because it looks so much like a fastball.
On the ground, Canzone busts it through the right side. Naylor getting the wave sign. Carpenter comes up throwing. That ball is up the line, and Naylor scores. Dominic Canzone has the first playoff RBI of his career, and it's 1-0 Seattle in Game 4.
Well, another split here. This one's down. It's not a bad pitch, but Canzone just rolls it over through the hole. And because of where Kerry Carpenter is playing, and listen, Josh Naylor, he's done this 2 pitches in a row now. I don't know if he's getting out of Casey Mize's glove. He stuck his left hand out, and they've both been split fingers.
So now here is Robles with a man at first and 2 down.
I thought he was given location. The one before was his right hand, right? And that one was left.
Both times.
Both was left?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind then.
Maybe picking something up from that second base side view of Casey Mize.
That's a hot topic right now in Major League Baseball is you see a lot of guys out there doing things, getting it from the glove, and they're not even hiding it.
That's not even trying to hide it.
Josh Naylor scores on this ball easily because of where Kerry Carpenter is positioned. He was more in right center. That ball went through the 3-4 hole. And that was an easy send by Christopher Negron, the third base coach.
0-2 to Robles is a splitter. He takes low. A little gamesmanship perhaps, and Naylor trying to help out his teammate. Canzone delivers an RBI for Seattle here in the 2nd inning. Robles with a 2-2 count coming. Robles with a double in Game 3. Mariners have struck first in every game in this series. Way inside, and that one gets away for a moment from Dingler. Robles had to dance out of the way of that one. Teams that score first in the postseason this year are 13-8. Seattle, of course, 2-1 in this series.
What is it in elimination games, though, all time? It's got to be a huge advantage.
Pretty wide advantage for the team that scores first. Mariners with the early lead. Canzone will be off from first. Robles takes ball 4, and the inning extends to the 9-hitter Crawford. You heard Tom Verducci's report right at the top when Casey Mize took the field. Went just 3+ innings, only faced 12 batters against Cleveland, only allowed 1 run. It was that George Valera solo home run in the first of that second game of the wild card series. But the hook may be a little quicker in an all hands on deck situation for Detroit. Crawford homered yesterday. Was just 1 for 7 in the first couple of games of this series. He went 2 for 2 yesterday with the home run, a walk, and an RBI sacrifice fly. Very productive from the 9 spot for Seattle. One 0. Strike 1. J.P. Crawford, a mainstay it feels like for this group. 30 years of age, originally a Phillies draft pick. Peeled down to third base. He went around, according to Alex Tosi. And that's 1 ball and 2 strikes on J.P. Crawford. Two on, 2 out in the first. In the second, beg your pardon. Waved on and missed by Crawford, and Mize limits the damage. But the Mariners get on the board first. Josh Naylor finally gets on with that 1-out double. And Dominic Canzone, for the first time in his big league career, drives in a playoff run. It's 1-0 Seattle. Mariners strike first against Casey Mize. A 1-0 start. And we got another ball out onto the field, or perhaps some debris in left center, so a little delay. It is a ball out there. A deserved ovation from Comerica Park. Opened in 2000. First 2 teams to play in this park when it opened were these 2 clubs, Seattle and Detroit. Riley Green fouls away the first pitch from Bryce Miller. Just 6 for 23 in the playoffs. 8 strikeouts during that stretch for a guy who struck out more than any player in baseball this year except for James Wood of Washington. Still put together an excellent power season with career high numbers. Trying to get going in this postseason again. Torkelson has been key. McKinstry to follow. Infield is shaded over for a pull hitter in Green, who pulls 1 foul, and it's 1-2.
This year, Bryce has been really solid. Innings 1 and 2. Whip really low, ERA really low. It's 3, 4, and 5 that have gotten him. It's going to be very interesting to see when they start getting that pin up in those later innings.
Green pops it up, and that will get out of play.
Well, it's also first time through, second time through, which coincides with the first 2 innings in 3, 4, 5. I mean, the numbers are crazy how much the splits for Bryce Miller changes. We'll see how long he's out there. Dan Wilson didn't give us an idea of how many hitters he could face or what he'd like to see, but you would think if he gets through the first time through and there's any hint of trouble, there will be action in that bullpen.
Bryce Miller deals a 1-2, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember that Brian Wu, who was one of the top starters in this Seattle rotation, was dealing with a pectoral injury. So with his lack of availability for this American League Division Series, that thrust Bryce Miller into a potential starting role. Indeed, that is the role he plays today in a potential clinching game for Seattle. Green pulls 1 to first. Naylor's there. Miller covers, and there's 1 away in the second. First of 4 division series games today. It's a great day of baseball across the networks. Brewers and Cubs, with Milwaukee a chance to finish off the series in Chicago. That's on TBS at 5 Eastern. Blue Jays and Yankees. Yankees came back to win Game 3 in the Bronx last night. And then Teoscar Hernandez and the Dodgers head back home with a chance to knock out Philadelphia. Big time numbers put up by Vladdy, Jackson, and Teoscar. One away for Spencer Torkelson. Strike one. Couple of hits in the set. 4 hits in the postseason, but it feels like every time Torkelson makes contact, he drives in a run. He's driven in 6 in this playoff on 4 hits. Fouls one away, and Miller quickly ahead, 0-2. A converted starter at Texas A&M, Bryce Miller, by way of Blinn College. 4th round pick of Seattle in 2021. Made his debut 2 years ago and took a perfect game into the 6th inning. So already people's eyes were opening quickly about how good Bryce Miller could be. Had a historic first few starts, an outstanding 2024, and some of the injury issues this year in an inconsistent season. 0-2. Green sends one the other way. This is pushing Robles back at the wall, and he's there. Well, Torkelson flies one out towards right field, and right there is Robles for the 2nd out of the inning. So Green retired, Torkelson retired, and now McKinstry with the bases empty. You guys were talking about the velocity for Bryce Miller being high. It remains high in this 2nd frame.
Yeah, he's still sitting at 97. That's what his fastball. That's what his teammates were talking about with his fastball. It is electric, and his stuff plays a lot better than his numbers say. If he's healthy, he could be dangerous.
McKinstry, first pitch swinging, bangs one into center field, a base hit. Just his 2nd hit of the postseason. It's a 2-out single, and the Tigers have their first base runner with 2 outs in the 2nd.
Well, this is what I think the Tigers need to try to do more of. Yes, they need to hit home runs, but they also just got to get on base and hit some singles every once in a while. You mentioned McKinstry's 2 hits, is only a 2nd hit. One of them was the game-winning single. Maybe choked you up a little bit. I know people don't do that anymore, but shorten your swing and just try to shoot the ball the other way, because that's the way the Mariners are pitching these Tigers.
Here's Dylan Dingler. Raleigh with a quick look down at first base at McKinstry, who did steal 19 bags this season. Detroit did not attempt to steal in the wild card series. They had the fewest stolen bases in baseball this year, which is 61. McKinstry, one of the top threats, and a disengagement from Miller to check on him. Both teams have left 19 on base. Both teams have had moderate to little success with runners on. For the most part, the runs have been at a premium. In the air, center field, Rodriguez ranging back in front of the track, and he's got it to finish off the 2nd inning. McKinstry gets aboard. Miller leaves him stranded. Off to the 3rd in a 1-0 game 4. Seattle strikes in the 2nd, and now the top of their order comes up against Casey Mize in the 3rd. Randy Arozarena lines out to Zach McKinstry on the first pitch. On the 40th delivery from Casey Mize. 22 pitch 2nd inning. He gets the first out of the 3rd on 1 toss. So 1 down for Cal Raleigh, who struck out on that Mize splitter.
Casey pitches at that 94, 95, but every now and then he'll shoot one in there at 98.
Throws one high at 93 that time, right around his average, like you said, 94, 95 on the season. There's his range. Try the backdoor slider. It's 2-0. And that puts Raleigh into a high leverage position.
Green light him.
Green 0.
You're 3-0 here. You got a guy who hit 60 homers, homered last night. You let him eat. Knows the strike zone.
Takes all the way.
I would have been thinking the same way, AJ. I'm surprised he just threw him a center cut fastball like that.
I think Cal's thinking, called timeout. He's thinking, why did I not swing it down? Oh. Well, you think you're going to get another one like that, but usually now you might get a split.
Yep.
It changes the whole at bat.
3-1 pitch to Raleigh is outside, and he draws a 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Casey Mize. Again, I imagine both managers are going to be very judicious about when to get their bullpen stirring. There was some stretching going on in the Tiger bullpen right at the start of this inning. We start to see some guys with their jackets off, and there is Kyle Finnegan, who is off of a couple of days rest. Waved on and missed by Julio Rodriguez. Started him off with the splitter that time. 0-1.
Hinch said something earlier that he thought I was going to be offended by, but I actually agree. In the playoffs, he said he'd rather make a decision 1 or 2 batters early than 1 or 2 batters too late. And the first decision is the toughest.
Well painted fastball right at the edge of the zone. 0-2 on Rodriguez.
Well, Holton is up there. We saw Holton. We saw Finnegan moving around, but Holton's the first one throwing, and that's because of where they are in the lineup. Naylor, Canzone. He wants to try to eliminate the lefties already if it gets to that. So that's why Holton is up and not Finnegan. If it was in a different part of the order, it would be Finnegan. But again, Holton can get. He said Holton or Melton will be one of the first 2 up more than likely. And here you go, 3rd inning. There's Holton.
Waved on and missed with the fastball.
He hasn't showed me anything though that says we need to hurry this guy out of here. He's still throwing hard. He's still locating everything. I know it's
the score. The score is what says.
Well, it's 1-0.
I know, but you cannot give up anymore. He's got to try to hold them at 1. They haven't scored any runs.
Right, but the walk to Cal. If Cal hits a single, you're like, yeah, you just hit a single. You know, so there's some strategery there.
There is Holton, the left-hander. Polanco fouls one back. He struck out back in the 2nd inning.
Well, I think I'm not going to say this is his last hitter. If Polanco gets on, it's probably his last hitter. If he gets him out, he might let him start against Naylor, because then he'll face Suarez and then Canzone. There's another row of lefties. So these are where you want to be a big league manager. Some of the decisions get a little tough in elimination games. When do you go to that bullpen?
2 strikes on Polanco. Trying to work around the 1-out walk and finish up at least 3 for A.J. Hinch. Raleigh at first and 2 down in the 3rd. The 0-2. Polanco pops it up foul, now to play.
Fastball at the top of the zone. Earlier this year, Casey did this same sequence. Fastball at the top, followed up with a split down and away. See if he does that again. We'll see if Polanco's ready for it.
Fouls it away. Jorge Polanco, longtime Minnesota Twin, had a red-hot start to the season, a rough 2 months, and then rebounded nicely. Had a very good September. He was a big contributor to the Mariners' excellent final month. That's the first ball he has seen from Casey Mize today. 1-2 the count. A.J. Hinch talking with his staff, going through the machinations here. Mize is 1-2, and Polanco takes called strike 3 on a splitter. He tried to scoot back, but he's rung up to finish off the 3rd.
Well, welcome back to Detroit. Mariners manager Dan Wilson kind enough to join us. Bryce Miller in 2 innings hit 97 5 times, as much as he has in any game this year. Tell me what you see.
Yeah, it's playoff baseball. He's got a lot going, and like his fastball so far. Good secondaries as well, and most importantly, attacking the zone, getting ahead early.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Thank you, Tom.
And Tommy gets a first pitch pop up from Parker Meadows here, and J.P. Crawford puts away the first out of the 3rd inning. Just 1 hit through the first 8 batters that Bryce Miller has faced. Big spot to be pushed into. And Bryce Miller already has recorded 7 outs, 1 base runner. Now he faces the 9-hitter Javi Baez, who has seen him 7 times and has 2 hits against him. 7 hits in the postseason for Baez, who takes ball 1.
Walking through the clubhouse today, you know, the starting pitcher, you never even make eye contact with them if you're in the media. Now I'm in the media. I was like trying to stay away from it as much as possible. Bryce came over to me and started talking to me. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. What do I do?
And there's this common theme that you don't talk to a starting pitcher on his throw day.
Yeah, he walked away, and a couple other pitchers go, don't worry, he does that to everyone. He talks to everyone on start days. He's as cool as a cucumber. It's not like, I'm like, okay, I didn't do that. I didn't initiate it.
Popped up by Baez on that sweeper. Saw the break on that pitch, and Baez lifts it to Suarez. He's got a great personality. His teammates love Bryce Miller, just 27 years of age. And this might be one of my favorite things about any player you're going to find. Cheese nicknames for the pitchers from Bryce Miller. Luis is Big Cheese. Logan Gilbert, Sandwich Cheese. George Kirby is Sharper Angry. Bryce himself is String Cheese. And I like that Brian Wu got a very specific Parmesan shredded cheese.
That's interesting. What's sandwich cheese?
Is it just cheese that you put onto any type of sandwich?
I mean, could be anything.
Foul ball from Carpenter at the top of the order. Tom Verducci, you can add to this.
Yeah, string cheese pretty obvious with Bryce Miller, right? A lot of that is built on body types. Luis Castillo is the elder statesman. But more seriously, guys, this team throws more fastballs and more fastballs in the zone and more first pitch fastballs than any team in the American League. They control count leverage more than any team in the American League. So it really is old-fashioned, old-school country hardball.
So you might say that they throw as much cheese as any pitching staff in all of baseball.
But not in this series.
But not in this series.
No, they've actually thrown more off speed in this series than they have fastballs through the first 3+ games.
And a lot of that is what you guys have talked about, the ability of this Detroit team to be able to hit the fastball. So Seattle staff, as sharp as they have been, avoiding some of those. There is a fastball fouled back by Carpenter.
Still trying to figure out sandwich cheese. Do I go, like when I go to the store and say, where's your sandwich cheese? That's like the cheddar slices.
Like a generic sandwich cheese.
But why does Logan get that? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
well, the personalities in this rotation have been very fun to follow. A ball and 2 strikes on Kerry Carpenter. Logan Gilbert pitched last night's game, was excellent for Seattle, and of course he has the nickname Walter, the alter ego of Walter, his angrier side that steps up in big games. That was the case for Gilbert in a 6-inning outing yesterday where he got the victory. There's a 1-2 pitch to Carpenter. Waved on and missed on the splitter. A 9-pitch frame for String Cheese through 3 in game 4. 1-0 Seattle. 1 win away from the LCS. Call to the bullpen is sponsored by AT&T, and after 3 innings of work from Casey Mize, Tyler Holton, one of the more heavily used relievers in multiple spots this season for Detroit, will step in the 4th with this pocket of lefties coming up, including Josh Naylor, who doubled and scored the lone Seattle run in the 2nd. Mize is done with 6 punch-outs in 3 innings of work.
What else can you ask for? I guess no runs, but he pitched pretty well. He made the 1 mistake to Naylor for the double, gave up the hit. 6 punchies in 3 innings, pretty good, but he leaves behind.
Oh boy, that went off the glove of Holton, then off of Baez, and that slips through into center field, and Naylor is aboard for a 2nd consecutive at bat.
yeah, he was great. He's given his team a chance to win this game. He arguably could still be in there. 2 gloves got on it, AJ. It's probably spinning pretty funky off of the pitcher's glove.
After
right
the first
there.
one, it added topspin. You see Baez, because of the hitting the pitcher's mitt, it threw his footwork off and gets through the middle.
They'll rule it as a hit for Naylor, and that'll bring up Suarez, and he's ahead of the count. So Naylor with back-to-back hits to start off game 4. Now Suarez is aboard, or at the plate, should say. 2-0.
My thing with this is I know you're behind. I know this is an elimination game. And A.J. Hinch said, hey, we're going to get Holton or Melton are going to be the first two. And he always says, we don't script it, but we're going to do it by our eyes. Well, like you said, Wayno, Mize was pretty good.
He was great.
And now you're counting on, you got to cover, if you're planning to win this game, at least 6 innings of, and you need your bullpen to be perfect. So every guy you bring out has to be perfect. And he was doing all right.
That's what's happening right there. He's talking to Jack Flaherty. Jack's consoling him. You know, pumping him up. Total pump up session over there in the dugout when you come out and you feel like you came out too early. Your starters come over, put the hand on you. Yeah, I know, man. I can't believe it. You know, like all those things.
Three-one pitch. Suarez lines it into left field, a base hit. Naylor takes a big turnaround second. It's thrown back in by Green, and it's back-to-back singles from Naylor and Suarez, the deadline acquisitions. And they're putting pressure on Holton here after Mize was done through 3 innings.
We saw nasty splits today. Saw him working in and out, up and down, but you see the location, fastball's up, splitters down, then he froze him on the splitter in. He had great movement, he had great location, he stayed ahead in the count, got first pitch all day long. For 3 innings anyways. Pretty sharp.
We were talking about Cheese earlier with the Seattle guys. Chris Fetter's nickname is also Cheese, as you might expect, Fetter Cheese. But with the lefty in now in Holton, Dan Wilson is going to pinch hit for the lefty Canzone with the right-hander Mitch Garver. While we have a moment, a quick word from Strauss.
From the fields we farm to the fields we play, work wins the game. Strauss at Major League Baseball. Gear for any season.
So Garver, who was 1 for 3 in game 2 as the DH and then pinch hit yesterday and flew out. He will climb in right-handed. You still have another lefty coming up in 2 batters in J.P. Crawford. It did look like Kyle Finnegan was starting to stir again in that Detroit bullpen. So lefty on righty now with Holton dealing. There's a strike. Keep an eye on Josh Naylor out at second base as well. Remember, he was able to signal home for Canzone back in that 2nd inning. You see the arm motions. Garver waves and misses, nothing in 2.
I mean, what in the world? You gotta, I think right here, you gotta bring in your second baseman and bluff him. You gotta make him pay attention to you instead of stealing signs like that. You know, and then
look,
you gotta be creative with how late you set up right here too as the catcher. Gotta guard your glove. I mean, this is blatant. And it could be for show, but it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't matter.
Garver bounces it left side and foul. So for those not in the know, can you guys kind of walk me through the process?
I think when he's pushing out right arm like that, I think he's telling him it's away. And when he's, I mean, that's I've never seen it so blatant in my whole life.
You haven't watched a lot of games this year because it's getting crazy. And some guys say, "Oh, I'm just doing it for show." But why are you doing it for show? Just to make someone think you're doing something? Like, I've never seen that. And what I think he's doing is he's picking it up. See, 2 hands that time. So what's 2 hands mean?
I don't know. I don't like it.
You know, it used to be a thing. You know, someone would go out there and say something.
And again, we should establish there's nothing illegal about this. It's not against the rules. This, back in the day, as you guys talked about, would be
make it obvious.
A little bit of a gentleman's agreement not to do it as obviously as you see teams, not just the Mariners right now, but many teams, most teams.
Give him a hard step to second right here. Make him take a step back.
Garver flies it out down the right field line. Long run for Carpenter, and that will drop foul. Does this get into a pitcher's head at all if they know that this is taking place?
Yeah, I mean, I would turn around and look, and if you see that, you can't throw a pitch forward without meeting with your catcher and figuring out some kind of system to get past that. And that may be exactly what Naylor's trying to get to happen, just not focus on making a pitch.
Breaking ball from Holton misses, and it runs the count full. And there's not as often as you can go up to the mound, obviously, when the rule change happened a few years ago. They limited the amount of mound visits. You could have probably talked about this in the course of the game. Not as many opportunities to do that anymore. 3-2. Oh boy, Holton was ahead of Garver 0-2, and he works back to the count to draw a walk. The first three have reached against Holton, and here comes A.J. Hinch with the hook. And a big spot coming up. Seattle with an opportunity in the fourth inning to maybe bust this game open. Bases loaded, nobody out. Robles is coming up. Naylor has doubled, scored, hit a single, and is the relay man right now for the rest of his teammates. 1-0 Mariners. Sights and sounds from the American League Division Series in Detroit. Big spot here in the fourth. Bases loaded, nobody out. Kyle Finnegan is on. Here is Victor Robles. Finnegan pitching for the 5th time in the postseason already. Took the loss in game 2 when the Mariners put together their big rally with Raleigh, Rodriguez, and Polanco. Naylor, Suarez, and Garver are aboard for Seattle. And a big cut from Robles. It's 1-1. It's already the 3rd different pitcher Detroit has thrown out there to try to save their season. 1-1. It is low. 2-1.
You got to get out of this. Maybe give up one. If you start getting into really big crooked numbers here, it's an uphill battle for these Tigers, because the way Bryce Miller has owned them, and then they got a fully loaded bullpen with guys that don't give up runs. It's got to be an out here.
On the ground, Baez has it, flips to second, throw by Torres. That is a double play. The run does score. It's 2-0 Seattle. Naylor comes across, and the Mariners add one on. When they do get the double play, do the Tigers. On to third base goes Suarez.
That's a big thing. That's about as good as you can do. Yes, you'd love to not give up any, but here you go. You get the double play, and you got a chance to get out of this mess with only one run. That is best case scenario. The Tigers can pull it off.
Here's J.P. Crawford with Suarez at third. Takes ball one. Almost kind of hit the bare hand of Baez first, and he redirected it into the glove. Torres with a good relay. Crawford will take ball 2. J.P. Crawford deep into his 7th season with the Mariners. Just his 2nd career playoff series, 3rd career playoff series. His 2nd playoff. Pops it up. Dingler flips the mask away, and Detroit limits the damage as Finnegan comes in out of the bullpen. Naylor scores. It's a 2-0 Seattle lead in game 4.
Welcome back to Detroit with Tigers manager A.J. Hinch. Your 11th elimination game. You know how urgent these are. Why go to the bullpen in the 4th inning?
Well, we had where the game dropped us off, had Naylor and Canzone in the same at bat or the same inning, and if somebody had gotten on, I was going to take Canzone out or take Mize out. So I like the pocket that it was at. We're going to be aggressive with our bullpen usage. They put some at bats together to create an inning.
Bryce Miller looks like he's playing the classic high-low game with your hitters. What do you need to do to get on top?
I think we got to piece together some at bats. I mean, obviously he's got a pretty good fastball today. It looks like he gets kind of the playoff boost of 1 or 2 miles an hour above his fastball, and we've got to stay in the zone. If we expand and try to make up this 2-run deficit in the span of one swing, you know, we're gonna have a tough time.
Thanks, AJ.
You got it.
0-2 on Gleyber Torres, Tom, who struck out on a fastball back in the first. So 11th batter Miller is facing, and Torres continues a solid series, his 7th hit of the postseason, and the leadoff man is on base for Detroit in the 4th. You guys have always talked about the second and third time through the order that it gets a little bit harder and a little bit harder, but the jump here from first to second is a little bit bigger than we're used to seeing. Again, this is just this season for Miller.
It's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen numbers like that for a starting pitcher that jumps that much. You might see 50 to 100 points in OPS or average, but
first pitch swinging, and that's foul down the right field line from Colt Keith.
And the thing for me, I think it's because he's really a 2-pitch guy. Casey Mize is also, but Miller throws the high fastball and then he throws a split behind it. So I think as a hitter, you go up there after the first time and say, okay, it's one or the other, and you pick one, and maybe you pick the one he got you out the first time or pick the opposite. I don't know. I can't explain that one.
Keith on the ground. Naylor is there. It's going to be a double play. Josh Naylor makes a fabulous defensive play again. He ended the game last night snaring a liner, and this time he trapped it, got the tag, tagged the bag, double play. Well, that error in game 2 is long gone. He's made 2 huge defensive plays.
He was smart with the way he did this, though. Gleyber, I don't know. Gleyber goes back, I guess, to avoid the ball, and then he realizes he's out, but he tags him first and then steps on the base, which negates Gleyber being able to go back to first. So that was really smart the way Naylor did that.
You have to do it in that order because, again, had that ball been caught, Torres goes to the bag, and it's all right. He just tagged up. He's fine. It's 1 out. But because he tagged Torres first on a trapped ball, that's like tagging a runner if he was in the middle of first and second, and then he gets the out at first. An exceptional play by Naylor again. Riley Green takes high. He ended the game last night on a hard shot at first.
That's close to making this game, that game interesting last night. But that's actually good base running too. I've seen a lot of veteran players use that. Because if the first baseman comes up firing to second when they catch that ground ball, he goes back to first. It complicates things. You see that Paul Goldschmidt used to run that play all the time, and veteran guys will go back to first and confuse people.
Waved on and missed by Green. 2-2.
Well, the play is you take 2 hard steps to second.
Yeah.
Make them if they think they're going to tag the base, make them tag it, and then you go back. That's the play.
Yep.
Nobody ever does. It's very rare to see someone do it, but if you can do it, it works.
Miller to Green, and a bouncing ball, and Josh Naylor with an easy play there. He's been heavily involved in a 2-0 Seattle lead in game 4 through 4. Offense and defense here in the 4th game. To the 5th we go in game 4. A huge day of college football coming your way with Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Jeremiah Smith and #1 Ohio State get set to go against a top 20 Illinois squad. TCU, K-State, Kansas, and Texas Tech. It all starts with Big Noon kickoff only on Fox on Saturday. Top of the order for Seattle. Runs in the 2nd and 4th, both scored by Josh Naylor. He just made an excellent defensive play in that bottom of the 4th inning after the leadoff man got on base. Kyle Finnegan, who came in to clean up the Holton mess in the 4th, facing Randy Arozarena. 1 pitch is low to even the count.
Now, so far, this is the Josh Naylor game. 2 hits, 2 runs, whatever he's doing at second base, and a few nice defensive plays too.
A 1-1 pitch. Past a diving McKinstry, and Arozarena is aboard. Leadoff man on base for Seattle here in the 5th. Well, Seattle's offense keeps it moving. Their 5th hit against Detroit pitching today.
Little shadow.
Yeah, shadows are coming.
A portion of that dirt area around home plate is getting the shadows from the light stanchions right now. Here's Cal Raleigh.
I know hitters used to tell me, and I'm going to ask you too, AJ. Hitters used to tell me in those, when the shadow really covered up that back half front of the plate, they would say if you could throw something that looked like a fastball that ended up not be a slider or changeup or something, made it very hard to recognize. Is that what your experience was?
Yeah, something that looked like a fastball. Curveball, you kind of see the little pops. You got that. But a fastball or a split, changeup or slider, like a little cutter, a smaller slider, were the hardest ones to pick up.
Yep.
I don't think it's bad right now, though, because it's just that little area right around home plate. The pitcher and the batter's eye are still bright, so that I don't think it's as bad. If anything, it helps Cal Raleigh if he doesn't wear sunglasses. Maybe see the ball a little better.
0-2. That one is off the glove of Dingler, but he flags it down before Rosarena can take off from first. Excellent defensive season for both Raleigh and Dingler. I imagine these two, along with Alejandro Kirk, will be right up there as potential Gold Glove winners this season in the American League for the catcher position. One-two delivery. That one gets away. A spiked splitter from Kyle Finnegan, and Rosarena moves into scoring position with nobody out.
So here's where, if you're the Mariners, you just got to step on them right here. This, you got the meat of your order up. You got the leadoff guy here on second base. You've got a late inning reliever in his 2nd inning, something he hadn't done a whole lot this year. You gotta put some runs on the board here if you're the Mariners and put this series to bed.
Watch Randy at second too. He's got a big leg kick. If he starts getting a good secondary, he could take third.
Raleigh into right field. That's down for a base hit. Rosarena's getting the wave home. He's going to come around and score. Raleigh with another RBI in Detroit, and it's 3-0 Seattle. And the momentum squarely in Seattle's favor as they try to put this series away.
Just a fastball up. Just got it out over the plate and stayed up the middle with it. He's done that all series.
Rodriguez fouls back a fastball.
I've been so impressed with him. He's not just a home run hitter. And he does it all. He hits to all fields, both sides of the plate. He's been absolutely clutch this series. This season.
There was a time a couple of years ago, and we talked about the Seattle front office, which at times has been hit or miss in terms of getting players, but they were aggressive at the deadline a few years ago. They missed out on the postseason in 23 and 24 by 1 game. And after the 23 season, Cal Raleigh was critical and said he would like to see more players and more opportunities to bring free agents in to trade, to be more aggressive. He apologized for the comments, but then the next day also said, I don't apologize for wanting that for the city of Seattle, for their fans, for the organization. And he, in that moment, kind of took on an immediate leadership role, and it has only grown over the last 3 seasons.
Well, look what they did at the trade deadline this year.
Yep.
Somebody listened.
Just imagine, AJ, you're in that clubhouse, the mojo you feel when your GM adds 62 home runs to the middle of your lineup with 2 great guys to come into the clubhouse as well.
Naylor and Suarez.
2 great guys, but great players, great power. I mean, those guys had to be dancing in there that day.
2-2 pitch. On the ground to third. McKinstry scoops it, slings it to second, relay to first. Rodriguez beats it out. The lunge by Torkelson saves it from getting to the sidewall. There's the first out of this 5th inning. Cal Raleigh has now driven in 4 runs here in Detroit these last 2 games.
Yeah, but this is just good hitting by him. Runner on second, no outs. He's trying to make sure he gets him over. He gets a ball up that he can also drive. He gets rewarded. He gets a single, he gets the RBI, and he gets a 3-0 lead for his team. And you can just tell there is a swag, there is a mojo right now in that Mariners dugout, and it's well deserved.
So now here is Polanco. A couple of strikeouts against Casey Mize, 2 of the 6 that Mize had. Diving back in Rodriguez. Rodriguez bluffed from first, took a secondary lead. That one's up and in on Polanco.
I mean, he's got a big leg kick, and if he wants the stolen base, it's there.
Well, I love Julio's lead too. He is all on that right foot. He is just looking and itching to go.
30 steals during the regular season. There he goes. Fly ball down the right field line, deep, well struck. That is foul.
Julio had that stolen, by the way. He had it stolen, and that's what he's telling Javi Baez. He's like, good thing that was foul. But this lead, he's already disengaged once. Finnegan has. He's seen his best move. Look at that lead. He is leaning. That is the definition of leaning. He goes, gets a great jump. Didn't even look in. That was a straight steal. And he had it. He had it made.
Polanco, after a rocket pulled foul, waits for a 2-1. Rodriguez will take off. Let's lift it in the air. Left field. Backing on it, Green. He's got it. Rodriguez has to head back to first base. They're 2 away.
So if you look at the pitcher too, Finnegan's stance is so wide, and his body weight also, AJ, to your point, it's in a spot where he has to be kind of big to get back into a loaded position to go forward and into a power position. He's spread out so far with he's got his heel kind of pointed back. There's really, I don't know if you could be short right there and effective with your stuff.
Naylor off of the glove of Finnegan. That rolls to the second baseman Torres. Nice bare hand play to finish off the inning. They retire Naylor for the first time. Another run tacked on by Cal Raleigh, and we're halfway through game 4. So far 34 pitches over the course of the first 3 innings. Had another quick inning in the 4th. 7 of Miller's last 10 outs have been on at bats of 3 pitches or less. So 44 tosses through 4 innings. A really good, efficient start for Bryce Miller in his first career postseason outing, and he continues to dominate Detroit.
And he's doing it. You see the first pitch of the at bat, he's using the middle of the plate, which is a smart thing. But these Tigers are going to have to be aggressive on that first pitch fastball so they don't get 0-1 every time.
There's been a lot of that today. Torkelson loops one into center field. That's down for a base hit. 3rd Detroit hit. First time that the leadoff man is on base for the Tigers. That'll bring up McKinstry.
And we got action in the bullpen now. That's Gabe Spire. He's up. He's up for Meadows, Baez, Kerry Carpenter. He's going to force A.J. Hinch to make a decision with Meadows and with Kerry Carpenter. So that's why Spire is up. Get through McKinstry and Dingler. That's what Dan Wilson's hoping. And then he goes to his bullpen and he starts with Spire to get through these lefties.
McKinstry has one of the 3 Tigers hits. He'll take one upstairs.
It's such a hard call because if you're the Tigers, probably your best chance to get back into this game is with Kerry Carpenter popping one. But you know that best swing's probably not going to come against a lefty.
Strike 1-2 McKinstry.
Yeah, but that's why it's going to force A.J. Hinch to make a decision. Does he go to Jahmai Jones? Does he go to Andy Ibanez? Does he go to Wencel Perez? This is where managing comes in. It's all about chess and taking pieces off the board. And Dan Wilson has the lead, so he has the advantage. he can force the issue. He can force A.J. Hinch's hand because he has the lead, and he's up 2-1 in this series.
You see Perez maybe getting ready for a pinch hit spot. It was the bench that provided most of the offense for Detroit in Game 3 last night. 2-1 to McKinstry. Here's a strike. Woo!
It's not going to get much better than that, AJ.
He didn't even look like he was ready to swing on that one. I mean, that is about center cut as you can get. He didn't even look ready to swing.
Taps one to the right side. Naylor's there. Throws to second for one. They'll get the lead runner in Torkelson. And there's one down. McKinstry reaches on a fielder's choice.
You tell me, Wayno, as a hitter, I mean, that's not a very aggressive take. I don't know what you're looking for when you see that as a hitter. I mean, as a pitcher, you got to be like, wow. And then he throws, and then he's ready to go on a split that's down and away. I don't know what you're doing.
I think that's what that look was right there. You're not going good. You take the fastball down the middle and you swing it to split off the plate, don't you?
Here's Dingler. Scooped by Raleigh on the backhand. Just another clean defensive effort by Cal Raleigh, who's going to walk out to join Pete Woodworth, the pitching coach for Seattle, and discuss things with Bryce Miller, who's passed 50 pitches. Just 3 hits allowed so far. Leadoff man got on in the 4th. He was eliminated on a double play. Torkelson got aboard. A fielder's choice to get the first out. Got a quick word from Capital One here.
With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
That was all just to make sure Gabe Spire's ready. But I love that. You know, did you see who was leading that meeting? Josh Naylor was talking the most in the whole meeting. I don't know what he was saying because he covered his face, but he was leading the meeting.
And getting Spire ready. 1-0 pitch to Dingler. 1-1.
Sometimes those meetings are, I love it. Josh knows his teammates, and sometimes he might have gone out there and said, hey, are you going to trade me Jamar Chase? You know, like he knows his pitcher. I heard these guys talking fantasy football earlier in the clubhouse.
Which I know appeals to you very much.
Yachty did that to me one time to calm me down.
Another backhand by Raleigh. 2-1.
You have all kinds of meetings out there. Yes, sometimes you go out there and get jokes. I think he's telling him, hit it to me. Look at all the plays I've made. Hit me the ball, please. I'm getting everything. It's my game.
They're all saying, look, you're doing so great. When they leave the mound, I love what they showed Bryce Miller. He was laughing and carrying on. He's out there having fun.
Hard hit ball by Dingler towards left. That's going to get past Arozarena. That's the second time he's misplayed an angle in this series. That's going to score McKinstry all the way from first. And the Tigers are on the board as Dingler drives in a run.
Well, whatever that meeting was about, it didn't work because Dan Wilson's coming to get him. But this is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're a Tigers fan. Bryce Miller, nice job, but they finally break through against Bryce Miller, get a run on the board for the first time. And here comes Spire, and now we'll see what A.J. Hinch counters with.
Welcome back to the 2025 American League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com. Mariners scored 3 times to start the day. Tigers have scored a run to push Bryce Miller out of this game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Got Dylan Dingler with an RBI double sitting in scoring position. Parker Meadows, the lefty, was due up. With Gabe Spire coming in, he's been excellent in this series, has been excellent this season. They'll go deeper to the bench. Well, A.J. Hinch and the Tigers. Jahmai Jones has walked in 2 pinch hit appearances in this series, including yesterday. And he rips one down the line. A fair ball. Dingler will score. Jahmai Jones off the bench. Tags out another for the Tigers, and it's a 1-run game in the 5th.
This is why he is on this team. He hits lefty. He's got over 1,000 OPS against left-handed pitching. And the Tigers crowd is back after doing nothing for a long time. Back-to-back doubles, and Jahmai Jones ready right off the bench. A.J. Hinch counters, and now we'll see what Javi Baez and Kerry Carpenter can do. But nice pinch hit appearance for Jahmai Jones.
Just a center cut fastball first pitch too, and you know, AJ, those pinch hitters come off the bat. They want to hit a first pitch fastball. That was center cut.
Upstairs to Baez. .970 OPS against left-handers for Jahmai Jones. He's the first man to reach against Spire in this series. One and one on Javi Baez. Inside move, thrown out to second base on the pickoff attempt, and Jones just got back in safely as he collided with Polanco's leg.
If he times up Polanco right there, they've got him at second.
Yeah, the first pitch that Jones could have stolen third because Spire paid him no attention right here. He does the old inside move that says everyone says never works, except when it does. Yeah, just gets back in.
You see that work about once every 4 or 5 years.
Tying run in scoring position for Detroit. Baez takes a fastball strike, 1-2. One-two pitch, and Baez lifts one down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
Joey Cora saying, look at the headset. I don't know. Jose Cora, as us friends of him know him. I don't know, Joey. That's a little wishing, I think.
108 off the bat from Baez. One-two pitch. Baez will take in the dirt. Raleigh knocks it down, 2-2.
It's amazing how much more comfortable Javi Baez is with lefties and balls coming into him, right? Righties, he's always out there, looks like he's flailing at balls away. And when the lefty throws the slider into him, he's just so much more balanced and on time.
Runner at second, the 2-2. Back up the middle, a base hit. Jahmai Jones will score. Baez halfway between first and second. He'll go back with an RBI single to tie game 4. Detroit has life. It's 3-3.
And four for their last 4 with runners in scoring position. 2 for 2 to end the ninth last night, and then 2 for 2 here today. This is the offense that the Tigers fans and everyone else has been waiting to see. And here, in the 5th inning, all of a sudden, it's come to life.
So a quick toss over. Naylor wasn't even covering the bag. Back to the top of the order for Detroit and Kerry Carpenter.
This is a big inning for numerous reasons. Obviously, they tied the score, but it also cleared one of the big hurdles for the Tigers and Gabe Spire against their lefties. They did damage against him. Now he's going to be out of the game, and they're mostly going to use their righties from here on out. So that's why Kerry Carpenter is not being pinch hit for. It's a tie game, and A.J. Hinch knows, hey, Munoz, Brash, Jackson, Bizzardo, the guys that he thinks that Dan Wilson's going to deploy later on, they're all right-handed.
Runner goes, pitches a ball, thrown out to second. Baez is into scoring position now.
These big moments. Pitchers have a tendency to focus so much on making a pitch they forget about the running game. Part of pitching is holding that runner close. Now he's in scoring position again. The double play's gone.
And you knew Javi Baez was going to try and steal that base. The crowd's going crazy. He lives for this stuff.
Carpenter climbing the ladder. It's 1-2. Not sure what Spire was trying to ascertain information-wise. Was he wondering if the pitch he threw on the steal was a ball or a strike? It was called a ball.
It was pretty much right down the middle, and I think Cal Raleigh jumping up. He called
that a ball?
He called it a ball.
Carpenter chops that one back and foul. 1-2.
That's why Gabe Spire is going, wait, that's the third strike, except he missed. But on the stolen base, Cal Raleigh jumps up. Sorry.
Yeah, I think the movement of the catcher probably threw off the call. There's the 1-2 pitch to Carpenter. Popped up, foul and out of play. Baez has tied this game. 3 runs in the 5th inning. The 1-2 to the right side. Slow dribbler. Naylor is there. He collides with Carpenter. He goes flailing down to the deck. It is the second out of the inning. Baez moves on to third. Oof. These are 2 big bodies crashing into each other.
Gracious.
Good clean play, though. There's nothing there. There's nothing malicious. Carpenter's trying to get to the base. Naylor gets in the baseline. They run into each other. Naylor's from Canada, so he wears a hockey sweater every day, so he's okay. Carpenter looks all right.
Carpenter had a smile on his face after all that, too. So Baez at third. They're going to intentionally walk Gleyber Torres, who has had a strong series. So they'll put him aboard with that base open, and they'll go after the lefty Colt Keith.
This is the right move by Dan Wilson. You have to make this move. And also he's thinking, hey, Hinch might use another pinch hitter, but he's not, because again, most of the guys left. I mean, Caleb Ferguson's down there, but they're high leverage guys for the Mariners, all right-handed, so he wants to get Keith. If he doesn't drive him in here, maybe later in the game he faces a righty that he can do something to. Fascinating strategy by both managers. They're both trying to play each other.
Tapper from Keith to Naylor. He'll make a play at first base to finish off the inning, but the Tigers break through. 3 runs, 4 hits. It started with the pinch hitter Jahmai Jones. Off the bench, Baez drives him in to tie the game, and it's 3-3 in game 4. First pitch swinging, Gino Suarez waves and misses at a Troy Melton fastball. Melton stepping into game 1 as a starter in this series. Another fastball to get Suarez swinging and missing. Wencel Perez will take the spot of Jahmai Jones. Slot him into the 8th spot. He steps into center field after Jones delivers an RBI double and scores one of the 3 Detroit runs in the 5th. Melton performed well. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed in game 1. The 1 run was the Julio Rodriguez solo homer. Suarez fouls it back, and still 1-2.
He's got that good fastball. We're going to see that really good slider. Batting average against his slider this year, 146. It's a really good pitch. Got a lot of depth to it, a lot of horizontal. It's a really good pitch.
Tap back to Melton. The former high school catcher flips it to retire Suarez.
That was that slider you see coming off a 95, 97 mile an hour fastball. That good tight slider looks just like it. He locates it very well.
So So now you'll get a pinch hitter in the designated hitter spot. They used Canzone to start the day. He had an RBI single. Then Garver pinch hit in the 4th inning and drew a walk. So now it's Luke Raley. Was hit by a pitch as a pinch hitter last night. He takes a strike.
And I really like this guy's stuff. Got that good short arm delivery too. Gets on you.
Waved on and missed on a fastball. 0-2. Melton works fast. Made his major league debut in July. His 1-2. Waved on and missed on a splitter.
It's a little changeup. He switched from the split to the changeup this year. That was a really good pitch.
Not a pitch he used a ton over the course of the season, but opponents did not hit it well at all.
Oh, when you got 100 in your back pocket and then all of a sudden you get that.
That helps.
It's tough at bat.
Nothing in 2. Did not go. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Robles.
If the umpire, first base umpire Alan Porter would have said the roof might have come off Comerica Park, even though there isn't a roof.
Melton looking for the shutdown inning. A 1-2. 2-2. This crowd, which got seemingly taken out of most of Game 3, brought a little life in the final inning. Got taken out early in this one, looking to explode again. 3-2.
Robles was the one that ignited the big rally yesterday. He's taken some good at bats this series.
He used to be a free swinger. He's cleaned it up a lot.
Payoff pitch, 3-2. And Robles, after being down to the count 0-2, is able to work the walk on the next 4 pitches. He extends the inning for J.P. Crawford. Melton took the loss in Cleveland's wild card series in Game 2, his playoff debut. Gave up that Brian Rocchio solo home run. Started Game 1 and now pitching key innings here in Game 4, with the Tigers facing elimination and the Mariners 1 step away from the LCS. Top of the hour here in Detroit. Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, AJ Pierzynski, Tom Verducci, our great Fox Sports crew. A 3-3 Game 4. Snap throw back to first base from Dingler, and Torkelson's tag is laid on Robles.
I like it. I like it. Just get the swing through. Robles has an early lead. That ball throws a little bit lower. He might have him. It's a little bit high and up the line. It's still really close. A little better throw. He's out.
And now he's got to watch his secondary lead. Can't go to first or third as easy. A lot of good things in that play, right, Edge?
Yes, sir. That's why I never threw, because I couldn't throw that hard.
So 1-1. Lifted the other way by Crawford. Charging in Riley Green, and he traps it on the slide. It's a base hit for J.P. Crawford, and the bottom of the Seattle order turns it over.
A really good try here by Riley Green. This ball gets in on J.P. Crawford, jams him, he throws it out to left field. Riley Green does everything in his power. He's lucky that ball didn't get by him, because a run would have scored just short. The Mariners turn over the order, and Randy Arozarena,
who takes a big cut at a fastball from Melton.
2-out walk. Leadoff walks, 2-out walks. You have no 2 count on Robles. You walk them. No, they're not trying to walk them. but now you're in the junk again because of walks.
Rosarena takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
Normally you'd see that big slider right here, but Randy's a really good strike breaking ball hitter. Susceptible to fastball up.
Fastball up. He lifts it in the air. Center field for Perez. And Melton comes in and gets the shutdown inning. A 3-3 ball game, and Green is due up first in the cleanup spot for the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at Fox Foresight. It's powered by Google Cloud. Tigers had tied this game with 3 in the 5th. They get the shutdown inning in the 6th. Looking to add on and maybe take a lead. Riley Green followed by Spencer Torkelson and Zach McKinstry. It's the middle of the Detroit order. Still Gabe Spire. Certainly for this left-hander. And you got the righty and then the lefty McKinstry. The 1-0. Breaking ball lifted to right. Riley Green has finally come alive. Tigers lead. Their first lead since the 11th inning of Game 1, and it's Riley Green to give it to them. 4-3 Detroit. They'd been waiting for Riley Green to finally come through. He gets the first Tiger home run in 106 at-bats. The first since Kerry Carpenter's in Game 1.
He's seen Gabe Spire now 3 times in this series, I believe, and he finally got that one slider that didn't do a lot. And we said it in the open, he had to do something, and I'm not going to lie, Wayno, you called it.
I did.
Here's Torkelson.
I did say, y'all didn't hear it on the broadcast, but between innings, I said if this Tiger offense is going to erupt, it's going to be off the bat of Riley Green right here.
So now it's Bizzardo out of the pen. Pours in a strike to Torkelson to even the count.
Isn't it amazing what momentum can do? Tigers score that run, the crowd gets back into it, they tie the game. Melton gets out of that last jam, and then boom.
Down the third base line, a fair ball. Torkelson around first. He's gunning for 2. He's going to stop there with a double. Bizzardo is hoping for a review of this play because he thought it was going to be a foul ball.
Can't review it.
Can't review that.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
He can hope and wish and everything he wants, but you can't review this one. I love, you got Gino Suarez pointing at a mark. You got Joey Cora, the third base coach, pointing at a different mark. I mean, I don't know. You got 2 guys staring at it.
That is so close.
It's a non-reviewable play because the ball hit shy of the third base line, or third base bag, I should say, on the infield. You can review it if it's a line drive beyond the third base bag on a line, but you can't do it if it's already established contact shy of the third base bag on the infield. McKinstry takes ball 1.
Oh, love this angle.
Make the call.
Goes over the bag, and according to the left field umpire, Jeremy Rehak.
Well, that's Alex Tosi, the third base umpire's call.
Tosi, right. That's
but there's
Tosi's
2 guys within 20 feet of each other looking at the same ball. And
yep.
Jeremy Rehak is not going to overturn his buddy Alex Tosi. So they're going to be in agreement. But I mean, we just saw a camera right down the line. You tell me if that ball's fair or foul.
Right side, that's through a base hit. McKinstry, he delivers to drive in Torkelson. It's 5-3 Detroit. McKinstry will stay at first. And the Tigers offense has taken the momentum right back in Game 4. Third RBI the postseason for McKinstry has given Detroit a 2-run lead.
Great job. Again, trying to do the right thing. Runner on second, no outs. He's trying to get him over. They thought he might bunt. Naylor was drawn in. He gets rewarded with not only a knock, but an RBI. Man, is this game flipped.
Oh,
I mean, the crowd, the momentum, the energy, it was dead in here. They were booing the Tigers when they'd make outs, and now all of a sudden, they love them.
It's the Tigers' biggest lead of the series at 2.
It's doubled. Hasn't it doubled their entire run production for the series right there?
Well, if you take away yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
But we talked about this after the game yesterday. Remember, they scored those 3 late runs.
Yeah.
Does momentum carry over offensively? We're like, we don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, all of a sudden, it's carried over.
I was in the clubhouse this morning. I looked at Kerry Carpenter and I said, man, you don't look nervous at all. These guys were carrying on and laughing and playing in there. And I said, you're not nervous at all. He said, why would we be nervous? We got this.
Foul back by Dingler, 2-2.
We were talking to the starting. I mean, Casey Mize talked to us for a long time. Skubal, Flaherty. They were talking about the hat things they have, the hat boxes, and how they take up too much space and how many shoes they need to pack.
Yep.
And Javi Baez has to have 2 bags because he has so many shoes he has to take on the road.
2-2 on Dingler. Check back by Bizzardo at first base, and they pick off McKinstry. Alan Porter immediately made the call. A.J. Hinch waiting to see if he wants to challenge. Bizzardo with a quick move over to first base.
Detroit is challenging the out call at first base.
It's a replay review presented by Zoom.
Hard to tell right there. That's where it helps to have a left-handed first baseman where he can let that throw travel and just sweep the tag. Oof, this close. I miss the days of arguing though.
He's out. From that angle, he looks out. But what McKinstry was arguing is that Naylor, see how Naylor's in front of the base and he has to go around him instead of being able to go straight in. And there's a rule you can't block the base, but I don't think that would be considered that in this case.
Alan Porter.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. Detroit has 1 challenge remaining.
Huge first out for Bizzardo and Seattle in this inning. He gets the pickoff of McKinstry, and that wipes the bases and gets the first out of the 6th.
I think it just barely beat him.
Still out of the stretch, the 2-2. Called strike 3 on a slider, and Dingler goes down looking. Just like that, 2 down.
Oh yeah, so Cal Raleigh right there, I think drops his glove, giving Bizzardo when to throw. I think they're waiting for either McKinstry to lean a little bit or take an extra little step, but 100% that looked like a timing play. To do that all the time, mostly at second base. But watch Cal Raleigh drop his glove, boom, the throw's gone. McKinstry's out.
Now it's Wencel Perez for his first at bat, and it's 0-2.
Did you see when he stood up too? McKinstry stands up and he says, no, I got my hand in there. And Alan Porter says, I didn't see it like that, but look, you can challenge. You know, I miss the days of getting in the face and arguing and manager coming out.
Knowing you the way we do, Wayno, like the aggressiveness constantly comes out. I mean, I have to fear.
Oh yeah.
You know how angry you get.
Not saying
with us.
I would be.
You've got guys that would do it for you.
It's so
right?
polite now, this game.
The 1-2 pitch. Perez takes a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Wild game here in Game 4 in Detroit. Mariners scored 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Tigers put a 3 spot up in the fifth. The Green homer to start the bottom of the sixth. And now Perez gulps one fair down the right field line. He's looking for extra bases. He's got a 2-out double. Green is homered in this inning. McKinstry has driven in Spencer Torkelson, and suddenly the Tigers offense, which was very quiet, in particular against young Bryce Miller, has come up huge in the last 2 innings to bring life to this crowd, to that dugout, and a little bit to their season. Baez, who tied the game in the fifth, takes ball 1.
It's amazing. Those numbers we just showed are amazing because the whole series, the offense for the Tigers has been dead. No energy, nothing. The 1 homer by Carpenter really was the only life that they had shown, and then all of a sudden a 5 spot real quick, and now 2 more.
Baez, first playoff home run in 8 years, has put Detroit on top by 4. A 7-run, 2-inning explosion by Detroit's offense. Carpenter takes a big cut at a fastball.
Hanging breaking ball. And Javi Baez, we've mentioned it all series, has been under control, and that was a real homer. That went into the old stadium, the old fence, but wow.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly in the same location that he missed 2 sliders earlier in this series when the game was on the line. He did not miss it today.
Javi leans back like that, you know he got it. When he swings and leans back, again, what do they say? The script has been flipped. And the home runs and the base hits with guys in scoring position, all of a sudden the Tigers can do no wrong.
Carpenter out to center. Rodriguez is there to finish off a productive Detroit 6th inning. In their last 2 frames, 7 runs, 9 hits, 6 extra base hits, including 2 home runs from Riley Green and Javier Baez. The Tigers have come to life to the 7th in a 7-3 game. Cal Raleigh pops up the first pitch of the 7th inning against Troy Melton, up to Javi Baez, who capped the 6th inning with his first playoff home run since October 18th, 2017. A 2-home-run effort in Game 4 of the NLCS against the Dodgers in what ended up being a 3-2 win. Riley Green and Javi Baez each going yard for Detroit. Make it a 7-3 ball game. Julio Rodriguez will take a strike. Melton started the 6th inning. Left a couple of runners on base. Rodriguez was very productive in the first 2 games of this series in Seattle. He's 0 for 8 in the 2 games so far here in Detroit in this series. guy who's dominated Detroit pitching for the most part this year. Oh, 2. Waved on and missed. Back to the home runs in the 6th.
Lefty on lefty. Riley Green with his first home run of the series. First impactful hit of the series. Javi Baez right on right. So you got left on left and right on right. These Tigers didn't miss any mistakes last inning.
Strike 2, Polanco. It was the first playoff home run of Riley Green's career. Check swing foul, and it's 0-2. Tom Verducci, you can add.
Cost of exposure, where a hitter gets to see the same relief pitcher, in this case 3 times in 4 games. Spire has allowed 2 home runs on his slider to lefties, both to Riley Green.
Finally got a look at it that he liked. Called strike 3. A 1-2-3 Melton inning. And suddenly the Tigers are rolling in the Motor City. Stretch time in Detroit in Game 4. Carlos Vargas is on for the 7th for Seattle. He'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the Tigers order. Starting with Gleyber Torres. Vargas took the loss in Game 1. Pitched the 11th inning in that game. Gave up the Zach McKinstry go-ahead RBI. Deep drive, Torres the other way. Angling over is Robles, and he's going to see it fall fair, and that one is gone. The Tigers have found the stroke in Game 4.
Wow, now the other homers I could understand because, as Tom said, Riley Green had seen Spire, but Javi Baez had also seen Bizardo 4 games in a row. So, but Gleyber Torres, I didn't see that one coming off Vargas. Oppo.
Strike 1 to Keith.
Man, that ball's out there. It's up, and that's what gives him a chance to drive that ball. We keep saying that, but it's up and out over. You can drive it that way, and he did it.
When that ball left the bat, I didn't think it was a home run. I was watching the right fielder. I was watching Robles, and he turned his back, and I'm thinking, no way. He just kept going.
Tigers have scored 17 runs in this series. All have come in the 5th inning or later. And suddenly these last 3 frames, everybody is getting in on it for Detroit. On the ground to Naylor. He vacuums it up. And he'll win the race to the bag for the first out. Get set to go for week 6 of the NFL season. I'm headed to Charlotte to see the Cowboys and Panthers. Rams and Ravens will square off as well. Big game between the Seahawks and the Jaguars as Jacksonville got a big win on Monday night against Kansas City. Check the local listings for the game in your area Sunday on Fox. 9 runs in the first 3 games. 8 today for Detroit. Here's Green. Lifts that ball left center field. Rodriguez chasing it towards the track. He's got it.
That's an out. That swing right there is what they've been looking for. Driving the ball to left center. That's when they know he's on time. And his approach is right. That's what they've been looking all series for, that swing right there. I know he's already hit a home run, but that swing right there tells you even further that he's on time. His swing mechanics are good.
Torkelson takes a strike.
That's the guy.
Tarek Skubal.
He's looming.
Be the slated starter for Game 5. 0-2 on Torkelson. Seattle won the Skubal game in Game 2 on Sunday, after Detroit had taken Game 1 in 11 innings 3-2. But Skubal pitching on normal rest on Sunday. He would pitch again on normal rest on Friday. And I'd be curious to see who Seattle would throw out there if this game indeed holds and we head back to Seattle for Game 5. Does Dan Wilson turn to Kirby, Castillo, one of his first 2 game starters? That one's looped down the left field line, foul. It's our player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual, the Seattle University product, and this Tigers team still has to get 6 more defensive outs to get to Seattle, but Tarik Skubal would be the very likely starter. And that being said, the Mariners have won all 3 games that they have seen Skubal this season.
You said the very likely starter. The only way he's not starting that game is there have to be something
happens on the airplane.
Yeah, something happens, or him warming up, something absolutely crazy happens. And if you're the Mariners, you're staring down that barrel. And if you're the Tigers, you're thinking, can they beat him 4 times in 1 year?
Yeah, even though they've beat the Tigers on all 3 of his starts, that's probably not a bear you want to face for a 4th time.
So Seattle's going to need some late offensive life if they want to avoid Game 5.
But you have to have hope. If this score holds and you're the Mariners, hey, we've beaten them 3 times. And Luis Castillo's beat them twice straight, head to head. Now, they didn't beat him every time, but they won the games that he started. And if you talk to the Tigers, they think every time he starts, it's a win for them.
Down the right field line from Torkelson, foul. You talked about matching, right? When you have an elite level starter, you have to match what that starter does with your starting pitcher. The Mariners have done that multiple times this year. Oh, 2 pitch to Torkelson. 1-2. Two of the 3 home runs sitting there for Detroit in this game. Again, home runs, we always talk about it. They play in the postseason. 12-2 is the record in the playoffs this year for teams who out-homer their opponent. It was 23-8 last year. It was 25-4 2 years ago. 11th pitch of this at bat to Torkelson is popped up. Called off by Suarez, and the battle goes Vargas's way. But Gleyber Torres gets in on the act. An opposite field shot for Torres. And it's an 8-3 Tigers lead to inning number 8 in Game 4. This is only one of 4 potential clinching games today, although the Tigers have something else to say about that today. Brewers can clinch in Chicago. Jays can clinch in the Bronx on FS1 tonight. Dodgers can clinch at home on TBS against the Phillies late this evening on the East Coast. Melton to Naylor. Josh Naylor flips that one into center field. His excellent day continues. His 3rd hit of Game 4 after a hitless first 3 games. So 5-run Detroit lead, but those 6 outs are elusive to try to finish this off. As Melton, who came in the 6th inning to start that frame, is now in his 3rd inning of relief. And AJ, you thought that if there was any sign of trouble, Will Vest would get a ball and start loosening up, and that is the case.
Well, he's not only loosening up, he's getting ready to come in this game, because AJ Hinch told us before the game he can give him 2 innings. And right now they need 6 more outs. He doesn't care how they get him. And Fetter's thinking, all right, when's he ready? Let me know, because we're going to go get him. Now, if he gets a double play or gets an out, they might go hitter by hitter, but any more sign of trouble, Vest is in this game.
Suarez bouncing ball left side. It's grabbed by McKinstry. Torres the relay to first. Double play.
It's the high hopper to McKinstry. Good feed to Gleyber. Gleyber with the turn. And now AJ Hinch can stay with Melton because there's no trouble. Erased all the trouble.
Raley, he takes a strike, his second at bat of this game after he struck out in the 6th against Melton. Balls and a strike. Seattle scored the first 3 on the brink of heading to the LCS, but Detroit has answered with 8 straight. And Melton with a strong effort over the last 3 innings of relief. 3 scoreless from Melton to the bottom of the 8th in Game 4. Your team, your players, your postseason. Follow all the postseason action. You can download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America. 6, 7, and 8th innings tossed by Melton scoreless. Only allowed 2 hits and a walk in that 3-inning stretch as the Tigers offense came to life with 8 runs in the last 3 innings. McKinstry with a run scored and an RBI in that stretch, and he fouls one away from Vargas to start this bottom of the 8th.
Tell you what, Bryce Miller was solid, gave them what they needed, but Troy Melton has been a revelation. We've seen him twice now in this series, and he's good, really good. He's going to be great. He's not scared. He's got great stuff. He's got a sneaky arm delivery. He's got a great split to go with it. Good little slider. He's got everything I look for, and not scared of the big game either.
7 innings in this series, just 1 run allowed by Melton. 2-2 on McKinstry.
You know what else he has going for him? Former catcher. That means he's smart.
That's what it means.
As the booth collectively shakes its head at A.J. Brzezinski. Bryce Miller went 4 1/3 for Seattle. Casey Mize got the start for Detroit. He went 3 innings, allowing a run.
I actually was impressed with Bryce Miller. I thought his stuff today was better than I've seen it in a long time. Fastball was sharp. He was locating it. A good split. There's some good breaking balls.
3-2 to McKinstry. And that's throw a base hit. His 3rd hit of this game.
Well, hitting is contagious, and right now everybody's got it going for the Tigers. It just took something. It took whatever it was that they said or did in the dugout to make an adjustment. But since that point, since the 5th inning, it has been hit parade for the Tigers.
See Alan Porter and Zach McKinstry having a laugh about that pickoff that McKinstry was nabbed for in the 6th. Here's Dingler. Those are the starters that Waino was talking about, Miller and Mize, their performances today. Holton gave up a run in the 4th inning for Detroit. Finnegan gave up the run in the 5th. And then Melton came on to settle it down as the Detroit offense got going. Miller allowed 2 runs. And then Spire and Bizzardo, who have pitched a lot in this series. Tigers were finally able to get after them for a charged 5 runs between those two. Vargas allowed the solo home run to Torres in the 7th. A pendulum swinging momentum Game 4. Box had that as a strike. Too low for the taste of Chris Guccione. Now the Mariners still with 3 outs to go in the top of the 9th inning. It'll be Robles, Crawford, and Arozarena due up. But a 5-run hill to try and climb after the Tigers picked it up over the last 3 innings. 1-2 pitch to Dingler.
One thing I always wonder, AJ, when you say you get into it just watching Porter and McKinstry over there on first chatting it up. When you get into it with an umpire, not that they didn't do earlier, but let's say you get kicked out. You say a couple of harsh words or whatever. What is it like the next day?
Depends on who the umpire is. Most of the time you laugh about it, you know.
One skips away from Raleigh as Vargas buried one, and McKinstry, who's one of the more aggressive base runners in all of Major League Baseball, took a huge turnaround second, but he'll stay there on the wild pitch.
Sometimes when you got ejected, you'd have a laugh with it about the umpire. Sometimes you talk about it the next day. It just depended on who the umpire was. Some guys understood. Well, a lot of times, listen, I think I was ejected 10 times in my career, and of the 10, 9 of them I wanted to be ejected.
You're like, I'm done for the day.
Yeah, I'm checked out of this one, kids. Which I don't recommend. But yeah, my first one I didn't want to be ejected, and after that, the rest of them I pretty much was like, it's late in the game, I'm tired, we're losing usually. Okay, I can take this inning off. But until you've had your kid, this is advice for everybody out there. Until you've had your kid, I got ejected in Tampa one time. My son was at the game. And he goes, "Why didn't you finish the game, Dad?" Well, I said some naughty words, son.
A lesson learned in albeit unique and interesting fashion.
Yes. But you hit a ground ball. I don't understand how you can get ejected hitting a ground ball. Well, it was the pitch before that got me.
Yeah, exactly.
3-2 delivery. And Dingler, after being down 0-2, comes back to work the walk. Welcome to the inside of our broadcast booth as AJ fixes his cord, and we get the chance to say hello. Adam, and AJ. Tom Verducci on the field. That's Fita in the booth with us, our great Fox Sports crew. Momentum swinging game, right? We saw Seattle come out on fire to start. Pitching from Bryce Miller was great. They scored 3 runs. They're in great shape. And all of a sudden something clicks for Detroit. Now they're in a commanding position, just 3 outs defensively away from sending this back to Seattle.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Not only they get hits, they hit homers. And we said in the open, they have to get the guys on base, and then they have to hit homers following it up. Riley Green, homer. Gleyber Torres, homer. Javi Baez, homer. This is how their offense works. Now, they get 3 more outs. They go to Seattle. We'll see if it carries over.
Yeah, when they were down 3-0, it was looking bad. They never stopped fighting. They had clutch at bats. And the big one for me, Riley Green. As Riley Green goes, this Detroit Tigers team will go.
This was the 5th inning that kind of got this Detroit team back on track. They had the Torkelson hit, the RBI from Dingler, the pinch hit from Jahmai Jones. Baez had an RBI single to tie the game and bring Jones home. That made it 3-3. That was as good of an offensive stretch as they had seen in this series, outside of the bench guys stepping in the end of game 3. And then, as you said, Wayno, this was the Green home run that you kind of feel like flipped everything for him.
Yeah, I mean, just look. Yesterday we did a segment on Curve. Where's Riley? We were wondering if he was going to show up, and he showed up in a big way today. Go-ahead home run. And that swing right there, the next at bat, even though he got out, driving it to deep left center field. Riley Green might be back.
They need him. And they've done their damage late. All 17 Tigers runs are in the 5th inning or later. And Riley Green with that 1 homer, you mentioned his next at bat, he drove the ball deep to left center that was caught by Julio Rodriguez. But if they're going to go to Seattle and win a game 5, but yes, I know they have that guy on the mound, Tarek Skubal. They also have to score, and they're going to need Riley Green and the rest of his offense to continue doing what they did today.
That first half Tigers team
did this.
That's what they did, and that's who got him started, Riley Green.
So Wetzel Perez will come to the plate against Luke Jackson. A quick word from Corona. So a pitching change for Seattle. Luke Jackson comes in with 2 on and nobody out. There's his regular season numbers with the Rangers, the Tigers, and the Mariners. McKinstry and Dingler aboard. Perez will take a slider strike from Jackson, who makes his first appearance of the postseason this year.
Good fastball, but we're going to see some nasty breaking balls from Jackson.
Got a great curveball. Perez lifts that one out to left. Long run for Arozarena, still tracking back, and he makes the catch. Off from second base, McKinstry. He'll tag and get to third. Randy Arozarena had to cover a lot of ground, and he got all the way out to the track to get the first out.
Great play by Randy Arozarena, but even better base running by Zach McKinstry.
Yes.
What he did was exactly what you're supposed to do. First of all, Randy went a long way. I cannot believe, I didn't think that he was going to get there. He catches it, makes a nice play. And what McKinstry does here, he gets it off, he looks, he's like, okay, is he going to catch it? But he's close enough to the base to where if he does catch it, he can still tag up and go to third. That is exactly how you're supposed to run the bases. And now he gives Javi Baez a chance to drive in another one.
Baez takes a strike. He had the game-tying RBI single in the 5th, and then tagged a 2-run home run in the 6th to add on to the Detroit lead.
How about Diggler at first? I feel like that's exactly how you're supposed to do it on his regard too, right? Like he's got to be able to almost score on that ball.
He's got to be right behind McKinstry.
Yeah.
He was almost to second base. So yeah, that was just great base running by both guys on base for the Tigers.
And McKinstry's about as aggressive as there is in Major League Baseball, taking extra bases, going first to third, tagging on fly balls. Again, especially here in Detroit where the park is big. More opportunities perhaps with that wide outfield. Bouncing ball to Suarez. Nice sling to second for 1, and safe at first is Baez. And McKinstry, because of that earlier base running play, is able to score as Baez beats out the potential double play ball.
But if you ever want to see how fast somebody is, you ever want to see a guy's best time down the line, first and third and 1 out, and they hit a ball that could possibly be a double play or an RBI, and watch Javi Baez go. He is busting it from the first step. Not that Javi doesn't run hard all the time, but he smelled that RBI, and boom, he got it.
A 4 RBI game 4 for Javi Baez. And back to the top of the order for Carpenter.
The high chopper there. You think he should have come home?
No, because he was going to his left. It wasn't directly at him, so Suarez was going to his left, and he's thinking, if I can get 2 outs here, I can get out of this inning. Baez busted it down the line. If it's straight at him or maybe even to his right, he probably does come home, but because he's going left, you go where the ball takes you.
Tigers have done all this without Kerry Carpenter getting on base today. One and 2. There's that curveball from Jackson, who was with Texas on a minor league deal to begin the season. He was actually the team's closer early in the campaign. He ended up getting released in July, signed with the Tigers. Struggled in 3 appearances and was let go, and then signed with Seattle in August. Carpenter skies it out to Rodriguez in center. And off to the 9th we go. Tigers 3 outs away from sending this to Game 5. Are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. To the 9th we go in Game 4, and Robles will take a strike from Will Vest, who took the win in Game 1 with 2 scoreless innings of relief. He fanned a couple, 6 up and 6 down in those 2 innings. Guy who saved 23 games during the regular campaign to lead the Tigers. Robles, Crawford, and Arozarena due up here for Seattle. 2 franchises that have both been starving for a championship. The Seattle Mariners are still the only franchise active that has not been to a World Series. They haven't won an AL pennant. For Detroit, it's been 41 years since their last World Series championship, that incredible 1984 Bless You Boys team. So much history for these 2 franchises, albeit Seattle's been around for about half the time that Detroit has, but these two fan bases have been starving. The way it's looking right now, barring a miraculous Seattle comeback, this thing is headed back to the Pacific Northwest for a deciding Game 5 to try to move on to the American League Championship Series. That will be on Friday. Ground ball to second. Torres throws out Robles, one down. Got to go back a long way to see this type of offensive performance in the playoffs from this storied Detroit franchise. It was a 7-game series that they won against the St. Louis Cardinals in 1968, and that's one of their 4 World Series championships. A little jam shot from Crawford. McKinstry lobs it to first for the out, 2 down.
Cue ball right off the end of the bat. McKinstry is backhand and a perfect throw. These guys love it. They're loving it.
Back to the top in a Rosarena.
It's too bad this isn't a 7-game series. I'd love to see this go all 7. There's these teams, fan bases both want it so bad.
I can't believe that note we just showed. 9 runs is the most, because they've been in the postseason a lot. The Tigers 06, you know that one well, Wayno. 2006.
Remember
that? You remember that one well, but then those years they went to the World Series in 2010s, 9 runs. And thinking Miggy and Fielder and all those guys, Carlos Guillen and that team, they would have scored more than 9 on one occasion, but it didn't happen.
Good pitching on the other sides, AJ.
2-1 to a Rosarena, 2-2. Detroit has forced a Game 5. Seattle scored the first 3. Detroit bounces back with one of the great playoff performances in its 125-year history offensively. 3 home runs, Green, Baez, and Torres, and a 9-3 Game 4 victory for the Tigers, who forced this series to a deciding Game 5 in Seattle on Friday.
What a performance by the Tigers offense. Didn't see this coming. Had done really nothing the entire series, and then all of a sudden a 9 spot with the 3 home runs. The crowd here in Detroit loves it, and we're off to Seattle, boys.
Seemingly that came out of nowhere, but they got it done when they needed to, and now there's a monster waiting on the mound for Game 5 for Detroit.
Will be fascinating to see who Seattle decides to throw against Tarek Skubal. But this thing is going to Seattle, and it's going the distance in the American League Division Series. One of the key swings in this game came off the bat of Riley Green. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Huge home run. Detroit needed this. This is the go-ahead right here. Left on left, 111 off the bat, 454 feet, tank bomb.
And Riley Green is with our Tom Verducci.
Thank you, Riley. This team was down 3 runs with 15 outs left, not just in the game, but in your season. And the Tigers scored 9 unanswered runs. How did this team pull that off?
We believe. You know, we're never out of the game no matter what, and we always believe in ourselves.
Take me back to the 6th inning. The game is tied. You are leading off. You're seeing games fire for the 3rd time in 4 games. What is your approach preparing for that at bat?
Just trying to get to the next guy. You know, he's tough on lefties, and just trying to get on base for the guys behind me.
Riley, you're going back to Seattle. You're playing 1 game to advance to the American League Championship Series, and the ball is in the hands of Tarek Skubal. How do you like your position?
I love our position. You know, Scoob's our guy, and, you know, we're ready.
We'll see you in Seattle.
Yep, see you there.
Back to you.
Speaking of Tarik Skubal, again, the Tigers have lost all 3 times that he has pitched against Seattle this season, but he'll have a 4th chance against the Mariners. Maybe Kirby or Castillo for Seattle, we'll see, but it's going to be a thrilling atmosphere at T-Mobile Park on Friday.
If you would have told A.J. Hinch going into this series, you go to Game 5 with Tarik Skubal on the mound, he would have taken that every time.
100 out of 100.
And here's his shot.
And we're going to be in for a great pitching matchup. Whoever Seattle starts, it is going to be an awesome matchup and a big Game 5.
And it's going to decide who heads to baseball's Final 4. Friday, the Mariners and the Tigers for a chance to go to the American League Championship Series. Tigers force Game 5 today in Detroit. For Adam, AJ.
God bless you. Double pro. I'm on this sound fairly no. DJ Softy man. I'm on you be. You don't know. Sugar. Love what you give to me. It's sweet past you got cane. I not go like you dey hide me past okay. See the way she just the wine. She the one pass up piano do. I swear to God, now she did do me do. Comforty, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never throw away. Comforty, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, it go make me go insane. Comforty, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comfort your reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Yeah, comfort, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comfort your reloki me. My baby too fine, no, now so she dey beautiful. Anytime I see her face, you, I go just belly fool. Now because of you, all my guys them they call me big fool. Big fool, man. See the way she soft to you, she be like foo. Comforty, give me love again. Give me love again. If you give me love again, I will never throw away. Comforty, give me love again. Give me love again. If you don't give me love again, it gon' make me go insane. Comforty, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comfort your reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Yeah, comforty, yeah. Yeah, comfort your mama no more so. Yeah, comfort your reloki me. Yeah, combo no be reisa. Double pro. Yeah, God bless you know. I'm on this song, yeah. Double pull on the miss. Yeah. DJ Softy man, I see you. I'm on this song, yeah.
Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом, присутствие кончается, и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом, сенатору скабрезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор, а мертвеца к другому безобразию, с крыши ощущений Как тяжко мертвецу среди людей, живым и страстным притворяться. Но надо в общество втираться, скрывая для карьеры лязг костей. Живые спят, мертвец встает из гроба, и в банк идет, и в суд идет, и в сенат. Чем ночь белее, тем чернее злоба, и перья торжествующе скрипят. Мертвец весь день трудится над докладом, присутствие кончается, и вот нашептывает он, виляя задом, сумма-то скабрезный анекдот. Уж вечер мелкий дождь зашлепал грязью прохожих и дома и прочий вздор. А мертвеца трудом и безобразию скрежещущий несет таксомотор.
Так вы стоите на моем пути, такая живая, такая красивая, но такая измученная. Говорите все печально, думаете о смерти, никого не любите и презираете свою красоту. Что ж, разве я обижу вас? О нет, ведь я не насильник, не обманщик и не гордец. Хотя много знаю, слишком много думаю с детства и слишком занят собой. Ведь я сочинитель, человек, называющий все по имени, отнимающий аромат у живого цветка. Сколько ни говорите о печальном, сколько ни размышляете о концах и началах, все же я смею думать, что вам только 15 лет. И потому я хотел бы, чтобы вы влюбились в простого человека, который любит землю и небо.